ceremony. And now we are going straight into our first session. So now we are really underway, guys. This is the success stories. And this has always been one of the best parts of the conference. I know the last couple of years in Estonia, people really love hearing these success stories because they're really brilliant. And we get a good variety from around the world. But before we go into the first session, I have some house rules for everybody. And they're just kind of simple things. And I know that I've mentioned some of these at the beginning, but I'm conscious that some people are just coming in late. So if you can, keep your microphones muted if possible, so that we can hear the speaker clearly. Turn on your cameras so we can see your beautiful faces. One of the great things about the World Cleanup Day and the Let's Do It conference is that everyone's exceptionally beautiful. They're all good-looking people, apart from me. I'm the odd one out. So we want to see your cameras on so we can really feel like we're together and with each other. Another thing to mention is that this is all being recorded. So if you ask a question after the success stories, if you want to participate, we are recording it and it is being live streamed on social media and it could be published later on. So just bear that in mind. So that's it. This is the first session of the Let's Do It World Conference, brought to you by Let's Do It World, Let's Do It Germany, and Let's Do It Indonesia. We are now going to hear a number of people speak. I'm going to get them up on my screen here about major success stories in their countries or in their groups. Now, here's the thing. Each person has an allocated time to speak. Now, we know what it's like when we're together at a conference. If someone is running a little bit over, we can give them a nudge or we can look at them and say, you got to wrap this up. So because it's over Zoom, things are going to be a little bit different. So for the speakers, when you are talking and you have around a minute left, you will hear this sound. Can you hear that? It's like a bicycle bell or something. So you will hear that. Then when the time is up, if you're still going, you'll hear a bit of music playing like that. And that means it's time to wrap it up. But if you're going to be like Bill and Steve in the USA and you just keep on talking, shut up, just shut up, shut up, shut up, just shut up, shut up. You're going to hear something like that. I'm joking, but it's going to be great. So without further ado, I want to bring on our first speaker. We have just heard from her, but she is going to give us her first presentation about a success story. Heidi, it is back to you in Tallinn, Estonia.
Hello, everyone. Yes, and let's go to the journey about the World Cleanup Day. And here it comes. So what are the World Cleanup Day 2020 numbers and all the emotions? First, let me to say that Let's Do It World have been started from Estonia in 2008 already. And by this time, we cleaned the country in just one day. It was this idea that we can do, and we are able to clean up our country in just one day. The great success story of the Estonia started to roll around the world. And there were plenty of different kind of countries who took a part and made their countries clean as well. But in 2015, we realized that actually this is not enough. We have to do something really drastic. So we come up with idea, let's clean the planet, but let's clean the planet in just one day. Since then, we established and worked to find all the leaders around the world who were able to find and build up the teams in order to change and work for the huge World Cleanup Day in their country as well. All these 150 country teams are Let's Do It World family. And this Let's Do It World family flagship campaign is a World Cleanup Day. By now, we have been conducted 3 World Cleanup Days with all and more than with 50 million of participants. So yes, last year was really hard to many people in the world and also for many countries in the world. And we were really surprised that even in these restrictions from the government and also with all this care and being really, really secured that we don't want to spread the disease anymore. We were really surprised that we have 11 million participants from 166 countries who took a part of this day. This 11 million is with the reports from Let's Do It World country leaders, but we had plus also, for example, 4 million from Earth Day and other big organizations. So of course, it's really understandable. For 2020, we had to make only foremost the individual cleanups. And we could take this kind of huge global mobilizations as the World Cleanup Day and Let's Do It are really well known. But how to do the individual cleanup? We also made 4 campaigns led by Let's Do It World headquarters, which were cigarette butts campaign, because it is one of the most collected item during the World Cleanup Day. And we were really surprised how low is awareness in the worldwide level that the cigarette butts are causing so huge harm to the world environment. Definitely cigarette butts campaign is something over what we are working as a main campaign for this year. So, and also we made a plastic bottle campaign for those countries where the plastic bottle and the big items are more visible and causing the more troubles in the world. We also made a trash blindness campaign, which is really relevant in order to change the people's understandings and to see and observe how we are living in the world. And our new baby, Digital Cleanup, what we launched last year, is something which is also really important to raise awareness among the citizens of their world. I also want to note that cigarette butts campaign and digital cleanup campaign and all these topics will be really well talked and also led by the experts during this conference, but also we are showing how to mobilize 5% of national people in your country in order to make very huge cleanups. Just follow our program. So as you see, we are covering different kind of parts of the world. We were on the mountains, on the rivers, even in the ocean to pick up different types of waste, also masks, also cigarette butts, bottles, and many, many more. So regarding of the waste, we collected more than 43,000 tons of waste. And in average, it was reported by our countries that per participant, the amount what we collected were 3.9 kilograms. But also, it's not just about picking up the waste. It's really important also to raise the awareness in communities. So we made a waste sorting and composting practical workshops during the World Cleanup Day. I want to mention here Indonesia and El Salvador teams. We also collected 12 million cigarette butts. And this is actually an amount which was really truly counted. But in reality, we don't know how much of cigarette butts were actually collected. We also deleted more than 71,000 gigabytes, which corresponds to annual CO2 reduction in 26.5 tons. We made brand audits and waste segregation with break free from plastic. We can say that we are the biggest ever civic actions. We were in 166 countries with 11 million people, which is like 33 million volunteer hours who collected 43,000 tons in really hard conditions, plus 45 degrees in Kuwait or -5 in Canada. And furthermore, we had also 156 billion times in social media. Here you can see the top teams of 2020. By participants, always, Indonesia have been the biggest team by bringing so many volunteers out on the World Cleanup Day. And we only can imagine the work behind of this kind of numbers. It's all because of the collaboration, the great model what Indonesia is working for. The big surprise for this year was Ethiopia. Ethiopia numbers, and behind of Ethiopia numbers is United Nations Habitat Organization. And it is really remarkable that this kind of collaborations in worldwide level, and we can make this kind of drastical and really huge people gatherings. Huge thank you for you. United States, 650,000. Last year it was 1.5 million. And here are a lot of huge partners to working for the World Cleanup Day. Mexico, an organization have been several years in the Jewett world, and the huge and rapid growth through the collaborations with great partners and organization. The work behind of Mexico is remarkable. The reports, what they have done is remarkable. It's amazing movement. India, 582,000. Last year, it has been millions. And India made a very different types of activities during the World Cleanup Day. Philippines, also 250,000. It's remarkable outcomes. China always have been coming out with really huge numbers, but of course, China is the biggest country in the world by population, and the work what they are doing is amazing. Italy, really huge growth in many years, and we like to hear all the story about the Italy team, how they have been growing during the years. Ukraine, fantastic work again, and we can say that Ukraine have been mobilizing many hundreds, thousands of people, and it would be really interesting to hear out their stories as well. Kazakhstan, again, like a newcomer, really huge growth, especially in this year. So thank you, huge thank you for all the Let's Do It World leaders. And if you look at the involvement per population, so you can see there are slightly different countries. Already we can see Latvia and Faroe Island and Estonia and Mauritius and Albania, Sao Tome Principe, Sweden, Cayman Islands, and of course, Ethiopia and Indonesia are already in here as well. Fantastic work, because by population, it means that more people have been involved. The visibility in the country level is more bigger. And this is really important if we want to raise awareness and make the change happen. We are conducting also surveys in Let's Do It World, especially after the World Cleanup Day. We want to see how this network have been doing, what are their input to an organizational development, how the World Cleanup Day have been done, and what are simply the things what we have to keep in our mind in order to have this healthy organization. So you can see from Let's Do It World survey, we had 98 countries who answered, which is 70% from all our organization, which is really huge amount of feedbacks. And among them, group cleanups were made by 80%, individual cleanups, also big number, 60%, awareness campaign and cleanup of the cigarette butts have been made by 47%, digital cleanup 44%, and also plastic puddle campaign, which is so relevant in so many countries, 36%, and also others activities. For us, it's really important to make the change happen in the world. It's not just about the World Cleanup Day, but we have to work with really important partners. And if you talk about the partners, definitely the governments is one of them. So you can see how much of countries have been engaged their governments. Here you can see a Prime Minister of Belgium. You also see our former Prime Minister working on this, on picking up the cigarette butts, and he have been made and been part of the Let's Do It World always. Also our Honorable President of Estonia. So you see how much of involvement have been from countryside. It's like a 72% of municipalities or other public sectors. A lot of ministries, environmental ministry are really important to engage. Other ministry, Prime Minister in 6%, presidents in 6%, and mayors. And I have to say that comparing to last year survey, this number have been growing really big. And this is really interesting for us as well to see how the Let's Do It World network leaders are thinking, how much they're actually creating an impact during the World Cleanup Day. So we can see that the number is quite good, but we know that during this COVID times, it was really hard to our network to see the impact of the World Cleanup Day. We cannot come out with really huge group cleanups, but we made this kind of community cleanups, and there are a lot of individual cleanups. But we do know that the number have been growing in Africa and has been growing according to this survey, but also in Asia and also in Latin America. So thank you all the leaders who have been part and bring their stories and feedbacks. And also, it's not just about the work cleanup day, what kind of other activities our leaders are doing. According to 98 countries' feedbacks, the educational programs have been made in schools in 64, waste sorting programs in community in 63 countries, and educational programs in business sectors in 44%. And this is really relevant that we are working with youth and also working with communities, because we are the really big community engagers. And their change will start with engagement. About the media and work cleanup day, here you can see how much we have been in different kind of channels. Of course, their social media is the mainstream and main channel where we are launching our news and our data, and we are visible through the work cleanup day, but also blogs and newspapers. But we had 156 billion reach in total. You can see also the biggest or this kind of influences in our network. We have to say that it have been Netherlands, United States and France, Japan, Germany, Indonesia, Estonia, Nigeria, Ukraine, and of course, a lot of other and all the 150 countries. We made also waste mapping, but we had so many different kind of activities during the work cleanup days and campaigns. Therefore, the waste mapping was also one of opportunities to be part. And here we are working with our dear and long-term partner, which is Stretch Out. And the work cleanup day cannot be without the Colm Media Center. And at this time it was in Estonia. So it was 24 hours live broadcast. It was moderated by Flynn, who is moderating current conference. So we had 24,000 media mentions around the world during that 24 hours. More than 100 people volunteering on work cleanup day and on the Colm Media Center. And we have 100 live and pre-recorded interviews and video stories. It was all 10 sessions with 45 minutes broadcast. And all it was supported by the Tallinn city government and also by Republic of Estonia. And fun fact as well, you know, the work cleanup day is not just the hard work. It's hard work as well, of course. But it's also fun. It's supposed to be fun because people are engaging and will be changing through the joy, for the meaningful work together, when they actually can share their understandings and their hearts and their common work together and have better connection with themselves and with and between themselves. Then the fun is really, really important. So you can find definitely a friend during the work cleanup day, but you can find different kind of other things like money, bicycles, false trees, or firearms. And we have been absolutely everywhere. We have been the longest street in Tehran, in Iran, and picking up the cigarette butts and raise attention of the government in this way, and Nima will talk about it. We have been below the sea level, we have been in the oceans, we have been in the rivers, we have been on the mountains, we have been absolutely everywhere. And this is not enough. We have to do actually more. Therefore, we invite you to be part of the work cleanup day in next September, 18th of September 2021. Hopefully the world will be great place again, and we don't have this kind of restrictions or COVID or pandemic or whatsoever, and we can continue our meaningful work for the world. Thank you so much for all our teams in Let's Do It World who actually are doing the Let's Do It World and Work Cleanup Day. Thank you so much.
Heidi, thank you so much, Heidi, for that wonderful overview and just the way you presented with the graphics and all that and the numbers, it just really makes it seem so worthwhile, all the work that everyone is putting in all over the world, just incredible numbers. And I remember doing that show from Estonia this year. It was a lot of fun. And we were so surprised by the numbers, the people who watched the live broadcast. I think it was nearly 2 million people tuned in to watch it around the world. So that was really incredible. One more piece of housekeeping before we go on to our next success story. Oh, and by the way, we can take one question for Heidi. So in a moment, I will ask you to put up your hand if you have a question. Before that, I have to mention as well, if you're on social media and you're sharing photographs, we want you to send selfies of you with your laptop or your phone, wherever you're watching the conference today. Post the selfie online and use the hashtag #CleanConference. Really simple. Hashtag #CleanConference or hashtag #Let'sDoItWorld. Use one of those hashtags and we can pick them up and we can put them on the main accounts. So let's see those great selfies. We want you to be creative and show how enthusiastic you are to be here watching the virtual digital conference. So now, before we go on to our next speakers, I'm looking at the gallery view here. I can't see everyone, but I can see a good portion. If someone has a question for Heidi they would like to ask about the presentation, please raise your hand now and I will come to you. Now, who has a question? I know people are like this, and I don't know if they have a question or if they're just relaxing. And if we don't have a question, that's fine. We can move on. Now, I can only see some people. So if you have a question, unmute your microphone now and say, I'd like to ask a question. You have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No questions for Heidi, which is a good sign because she described it and explained it so clearly. We are totally in the loop. Now, we're moving from Estonia, from Tallinn. We're going over to the United States of America, which has been in the news a lot recently. Yeah. And I can see my two friends are there. It's Bill and Steve, everybody. Bill and Steve, hello, how are you?
How you doing?
Greetings.
How you doing?
First of all, I love the background. You've still got rocking there. Tell us, what's that behind you, those beautiful mountain ranges?
Well, that's right behind us.
That's called the two-dimensional mountains.
You climb them every day, do you, for exercise?
Flat Lake's right over.
Flat Lake's right behind you. Oh, you don't see it, right? Yeah.
Somewhere back there.
You guys are getting more handsome every time I see you. How is life?
We're doing well. And by the way, for Irish, you're starting to really lie more than the average one. You notice that?
I'm starting to what more?
Lie.
He didn't say anything.
Tell the non-truth. We're not getting handsome. We're getting older and fatter.
No, he's getting fatter.
In Ireland, we say you're speaking blarney. If you say
you go on that. You've been doing quite a good job of it.
I can't hold the show up. I could talk to you guys all day.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. But you have your presentation. Don't forget, you have 7 minutes, guys. And if you go over it, you will hear this sound. When you have 1 minute to go, you'll hear this, okay?
Bicycle.
Do you hear that little bell?
Bicycle?
That's a bicycle bell.
Yeah, we got the timer on here too.
You know what we had? Actually, I had a different sound effect, but they wouldn't let me use it. It was this. And they said you can't use it. But Bill and Steve, if you do go way too far over, you'll hear this.
We will.
Okay, it's over to you guys, and the stage is yours. Take it away.
Hi there. This is the Bill and Steve show, better known as the BS show. But anyways.
Hey, wait, if I was here, or you weren't.
Yeah, it'd be only Steve or Bill or the SOB. But anyways, our whole thing is.
Wait, greetings from the United States.
Greetings from the United States. Yes. From San Diego, where it's nice and warm.
No, it isn't. It's cold out. It's like 50 degrees. No, well, whatever. The other 50 degrees.
It's 17 degrees. But anyways, Celsius. Anyways, so our whole thing was we had to say, go outdoors, have fun, and clean up. That was our whole project for this year. And the main thing is we had to pivot from our large people. Go ahead, Steve. You talk. You want to.
Yeah, exactly. Bill normally likes to talk, but I let him blather on for a little bit. But normally we have been doing large organized cleanups with partners, both locally and regionally and nationally. So this year, because of the COVID issues, we needed to pivot. And so we went to small and local socially distanced cleanups.
And singular.
Right. So one of the things that we developed was something called the tailored cleanups. Bill.
Well, you go ahead. You came up with the idea.
Well, that's true.
That's true.
Actually, that started out with a educational institution that we worked with regarding Google.
Yes. And anyways, he's going to go on. He's a salesman. He can't stop it.
Exactly.
And then we found that small companies wanted to do cleanups around their area, around their house, their parks. And we found that but they had a hard way of signing up for it and letting their people know that there's something going on. So we said, let's do tailored cleanups just for them. And you know what? It worked pretty well.
Right. We had actually a large number of companies that wanted to have their employees do engagement, but because of COVID, they didn't have any alternatives really.
Well, yeah, large companies but they're small little offices.
Yeah, so everybody's working from 7,000 small little offices back in their,
2D mountains. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Back in their 2D mountains out of their homes. So we actually had a significant percentage of the the people that were volunteering to clean up, doing it that way through our tailored cleanup program, everything remotely and socially distanced.
Which actually worked out pretty well. When we first started this, we were really afraid that we were not going to get much going. We were going to go from 2 million from last year. We were hoping 100,000 because people were afraid to go outside.
We're talking about 50,000.
50,000. So we got over 650,000, and we were rather surprised with that. And that was people signing up on our page. But we also included something really important, was the plogging.
Right. So plogging, as everybody knows, is jogging
and picking
up. Started by Eric in Sweden.
Right.
And so we actually did a big push on that. We did a video for it.
Well, he did a video for it.
Yeah, well, he did a video for it to help promote it. So we had a big community of ploggers out there. The other one in the United States is Trash Tag, and that was started by a guy named Stephen Reinhold.
Don't go too far into it, but anyways, yes.
Right.
It was taking pictures of what you saw and then
before and after. Yeah.
Before and after. And he did a video, and we got a lot of marketing with that on social media.
Right.
Which Steve and I are really bad at.
Right. You're not going to see any selfies coming out of Bill and Steve. So in addition, we added a sign-up process within our websites for worldcleanupday.us and for National Cleanup Day.
Right.
And that sign-up process worked really good.
That was really important.
We have improvements to do on that, but that was one of the key things, was both the sign-up process for the individual companies that we tailored. Or people and municipalities.
Big on that part.
Right. Yeah. Municipalities were big. Again, that was a tailored cleanup program that we did.
And you have to understand what we figured out. People want to go do something, but they need to know where it is to go do it. And the United States is, a small little country in the middle between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans there. And people just go, I'm in Poughkeepsie, New York. Where do I go clean up? Well, if they have a way of doing it, they can say, I can go clean up here. And that was the magic, is getting people connected to the places to go. Right. By the way, is that coffee or alcohol?
It's a tea, so it's neither.
And then one thing that we did last year on the plogging and the trash tag was we did that relatively informally off of our websites, and we got some good media out of it. But
iced tea.
For 2020, we're actually launching, or for 2021. Yeah, right.
Go
forward, not backward. We're actually launching formal websites for plogging and trash tag, again, in conjunction with the founders.
Right.
And then one other note is that we did launch last year on, let's see, what was that, September 18th last year? Yeah.
Right.
We launched Cleanup News.
So people can, from all over the world, can bring in stories. We have a lot of scientific papers that are on there. Anything that deals with cleanup news. I like the picture of Colin there staring off into space.
Right. So, since we told Colin that we'd be brief.
Yes, we've got a minute.
We got like a minute. Did you want to do any questions? Yeah. Did we have anything else to say, Bill?
No.
That'd be like a new thing.
Yeah. By the way, one of the most important things, before I forget, one of the most important things we have, our battle cry for all of this is, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Remember that.
That's a very good motto. If you're not having fun, I had to turn off my camera there because you made me laugh so much. I choked my tea and I went bright red. So I was scrambling to turn off my camera. And I know when you were talking, everyone in the chat is saying, you guys are great. We love you guys. So I'm sure someone has a question. I can't see all the cameras. So here's how we'll do it. If you have a question for Bill and Steve to give me a chance to not choke, unmute your camera now and tell us who you are and where you're from. So anyone would like to ask a question?
Tommy here from Iceland.
Tommy from Iceland, over to you.
Okay. I want to ask them this device that they showed us last year, this with the plucking device and the phone on it. Did that work or not? I want to know about that.
So it did work. They are still in development. That was called the Rubbish app,
right? With the picker upper,
right? With the picker upper. You know, we don't. We don't care. I shouldn't say care.
No, we don't get behind anything.
We don't get behind any one product or company on that. But you know, what we want to do is have a good competition between all the organizations that are making the
and let people know there's things out there.
Tools.
Yeah.
But yes, we did have good success with that.
Right.
All right. Thanks.
Thomas, thank you. Now we have time for another question. Does anyone in Haiti would like to ask a question? I think they had 2 hands up the last time and we missed it. So anyone from Haiti like to ask a question? 5, 4, 3.
Yes, question for Heidi from Kazakhstan. It was nice presentation, Heidi. Thank you very much. Colm, it was nice to see you, all the guys. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so the question is, do you have any in a picture? I didn't see it. Total garbage collected in the world.
You would like to see the slide again of the total garbage collected in the world?
Yes.
It was 43,000 tons, but yeah, I can
No, by country, I mean, I can't.
It's
yes.
about the reports.
Okay.
But we don't have this kind of, we will do it next time because, you know, this time it was really hard to make also work on the reports because of a lot of individual cleanups.
Thank you very much.
We are doing it. Great idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And Bill and Steve, sorry, you kind of got hijacked there at the end, but I'll ask you finally, the final question for me, what are you looking forward to most about 2021?
Beer,
wine, going outside.
Yeah.
Without a mask on would be really nice.
Let's see what else.
But actually, no, what we're looking for, we're hoping, and this is our real prayer in a way, is that our big groups can get together again and do big cleanups because they're so effective. And even though we did pretty well, it's like 1/4 of what could have happened.
Right. We should be.
Don't say
I'm not
that.
going to say it, but we should be more than we were by quite a bit from 2 years ago.
Yes, we'll see.
We're aiming at much larger numbers.
Yep, we're hoping. Yep.
Bill and Steve, thank you so much. You're great. Fantastic. Round of applause, everybody. From the United States of America. Look at the people, love them. Listen to that crowd. And I know we have a lot of fun and we joke, but behind it, what they are doing is incredible. And you can tell by talking to them, you can tell by listening to them that the most important thing, their heart is in it, which is amazing, which is really good. And now we are going over to Iran. And this is a story. Stories from Iran have always captivated the crowds at the World Cleanup Day conference and the Let's Do It conference. So we're going to talk now to Nima Zare about engagement of cigarette butts, the campaign, and engaging the government in Iran. So Nima, it is over to you if you're ready.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to the people who have tried hard to organize this event and provided us with this opportunity for sharing experiences and learning from each other. Thank you, my friends in headquarters, Let's Do Germany and Let's Do Indonesia. Those who have had the same experience in their countries might admit that harder steps need to be taken in order to engage the government in social initiatives, especially if it is about a big movement that is performed globally and is organized by a foreign NGO. However, I guess that working with the government in my country, Iran, is much harder than any other places in the world. Actually, in addition to the economic crisis caused by heavy sanctions on my country, as well as the problems with the corona pandemic restrictions, and although local NGOs get good supports from the government, we are facing a fundamental problem with foreign NGOs' activities in Iran. Since a few international NGOs have violated laws in Iran over the past years, there is not a good opinion amongst Iranian officials about contributing with foreign NGOs. So it's very hard to convince the government to permit such event and to support it, especially when it comes to their presence. In fact, if you want to do that in a formal way, you need to do numerous correspondence with related organizations. Too many documents must be presented to explain the goals of the movement, and you also should pass a lot of interviews to get the required permissions. So no need to mention that sometimes it becomes a long journey that needs a lot of time, energy, and money that may eventually end up having no result. On top of that, if you're unable to provide sufficient documents to meet the criteria, and if they refuse to give you the permissions, you have to immediately stop all your activities, and you won't have enough time and chance to bring it up again. So, knowing all this, what was our strategy to involve the government in Iran? To be honest, in this case, the best strategy for us was to have no certain strategy. You know, in my opinion, when you are facing a dynamic and unpredictable situation, sticking to a particular strategy is not a good idea, as your maneuverability will be limited and you cannot be agile enough in responding to sudden issues. Considering this matter, every time we have been about to organize World Cup Day in Iran, we have asked all people in our network to approach anyone they know in the government body just a few days or weeks before the date, to meet them in person, talk with them, explain our plan and goals to them, and finally to stimulate their personal motivation and seek any sort of help that they can offer to us. This strategy, I mean, having no guidelines and allowing people to do things in their ways, has worked very well for us so far. The last World Cup Day in Iran was a real success, in fact. In addition to all volunteers from across the country who came out to clean up urban areas and outskirts from the waste, we had a great success in drawing politicians' attention to our activity as well. Some government officials, for example, members of the City Council of Tehran, which is the capital city, and a metropolis with a population of about 10 million, joined us on the day to clean up the longest and fascinating street in the Middle East, Valias Avenue, which is about 17 kilometers long and down from the very north to the south of the city. Beside that, almost all major news agencies covered this day, and even one of the most famous international news broadcasting companies, BBC Persian, made a TV report about our initiatives on the day. During this event, the chairman of the Cultural and Social Commission created a social challenge and invited all Iranian politicians and officials to join the campaign and to participate in following events in the upcoming months. You know, from this point of view, I consider World Cup Day 2020 as a very successful event, as we succeeded to involve almost all segments of the society in this project. And I believe that it will certainly have a profound impact on our community in the long term. And now we can see that World Cup Day is becoming more and more famous in the society after that day. And we are observing an increasing number of volunteers joining our cleanup events every time we go out for a cleanup activity. So I hope you do agree with me that it has been a very successful strategy for us in Iran. And thank you so much for your attention. And I hope you have enjoyed my story. Thank you.
Nima, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And I know people are going to have questions. We're going to go to them in just a moment. But what do you, for yourself personally, because so much of this is about personal stories as well, Nima, when you have so many obstacles in Iran, and like you said at the beginning of your presentation, more than most countries. So what keeps you motivated and keeps you pushing through to try and achieve the goals despite all the things that you're faced with?
You know, how to say, you know, I have always had a very strong connection with the environment, rooting in my childhood when I had been spending my summertime in nature, wandering in gardens and playing with animals, with farm animals. And after that, I pursued my studies in animal science, which is somehow related to environment and to the nature. So, you know, I have always thought with myself that I should do something for the society, for the world, not for myself. So, when I was in the university, I talked to some same-minded friends and established an NGO to fight against these issues. And after graduation, we expanded our activities and made a connection with other NGOs all around the country. And you know, this national network that we established to deal with these problems worked very well so far. But in answering to your question about these problems with Iran, you know, Iran actually is a very problematic area in the world. We are surrounded with some terrorist groups, and because of this and because of the safety of the people, our government is very careful and is very concerned about people's safety. They don't allow people to gather together in a big number, and also they need to track everything. They need to control everything to avoid some problems in the country. Because of that, we had maybe more obstacles in Iran than other places in the world, and it's normal here, I think.
Well, Nima, thank you so much for that. And I'm going to put it out to the floor. If anyone has a question, you could type it in the chat or unmute your microphone and say your name and where you're from in the next few seconds. Unmute your microphone, say your name and where you're from if you have a question for Nima in Iran. So we'll give 5, 4, 3, 2. Would anyone like to ask a question? I'm just conscious that some people are maybe putting questions in the chat. Others I may not be able to see, so do not put up your hand, unmute your microphone, and if not, we will move on to our next speaker. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nima in Iran, thank you so much. Round of applause, everyone, for Nima. Thank you so much, Nima. Now we're moving on. We're going from Iran to Indonesia. And in Indonesia, we're going to be talking about sorting as the focus of World Cleanup Day. So sorting. And Ranitya Nurlita. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. But Ranitya, it's over to you.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Good morning, selamat pagi, good afternoon, selamat siang, and also good evening, selamat malam from here. My name is Ranitya Nurlita. You can call me Lita. So I will a little bit sharing about the success story of World Cleanup Day Indonesia, and of course, here I'm very grateful because I can meet virtual with you all, and as a represent World Cleanup Day Indonesia, and of course here all the participants and then all the speakers are very awesome. And yeah, a greeting to all Indonesia leaders, around more than 40 leaders joining this conference. So I will share the slides. So yeah, wait a second. So I will share the slide. Okay. So during I have only 7 minutes to share about sorting waste as the focus of World Cleanup Day Indonesia. So before sharing, this is a little bit background. So I'm joining World Cleanup Day since 2018, and I know the first thing that the journey of World Cleanup Day since held in Indonesia. So actually the slide is in Indonesia, but I will make it more translated in English, so I hope you can understand what World Cleanup Day Indonesia done before. So actually World Cleanup Day Indonesia has been a success in 2020. I'm so grateful. We are so grateful because that Heidi mentioned before, we involve around 4.2 million volunteers around Indonesia, and our campaign is called Clean Up Action and Waste Segregation. And we moved millions of people during the pandemic to join these actions. So this is the global achievement from us that Heidi mentioned before, that Indonesia is the first the country that involved more than 4.2 million volunteers. And after that, Ethiopia, and then USA, India, and Mexico. And then beside that also, we are in the 4th rank for our target, around 5% the population in Indonesia. And actually this is our achievement. And before that also, I will tell you about the story behind start since last year, since 3 years ago. So World Cleanup Day started 2018, and we involved around 7.6 million volunteers, and we handled more than 18 million kilograms. 18 million kilograms. And then on 2019, we involved more than around 9.5 million volunteers, and also we involved and we handled around 15 million kilogram of waste. And this year, even we stay in our home, and we can involve more than 4.2 volunteers, and we handled around 4 million kilogram of waste. And we are very grateful because we got many support from the government, from Bali, and then in the central Java, and then West Java, and some of the governments. So this is our achievement. We held World Cleanup Day on September 21st, 2020, and we involved around 236 cities and regions. And the community who joined World Cleanup Day is around 3,430 communities, and we involve also 1,353 schools. And we also involve around 201 company, and the universities is around 176 universities. And also we have a spot for waste segregations. It's around 438 points, or 38 spots. And then this is the province, because in Indonesia we have around 34 provinces. And then this is top 5 the province that have the highest volunteers. The first one is in the West Java. And then this is top 5 province who have another volunteers. And also top 5 province, actually the sound is it my voice is clear? Maybe Morning, can you help me to unmute, to mute your voice? Second. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So I will continue my presentations. Oh yeah, so this is top 5 province who have volunteers, and also top 5 the province who have the big amount of the waste. The Central Java, they handled around 2.3 million waste, is around 50% total. And beside that also, this is the total amount of waste segregations. Because why? this is very unique if you know about the history World Cleanup Day since 2018 until 2020. Because 2018 we just campaign and educate people to segregate the waste, and right now during 2020 is more actions, because the campaign is waste segregations. And if you know from this graphics, is around 39% is unorganic waste, and then around 27% is organic, and then 26% is mixed waste, and the 8% is residual waste. And from this, we also can know about the percentage of the waste. The organic is around 18%, and then the plastic is around 44%, and then glass is around 9%, and then another waste you can see from the graphics. If you can see this one, actually the plastic is the highest waste that we already segregate. So this is also the focus from us, that we should know, and then we should segregate the waste, and after that the waste can go to the recycling centers. And during this situation also, I will share you about some of our achievement, because we support the government programs. The first one, Indonesia Bersih, and then the second one is Pilah Sampah dari Rumah, or we call it waste segregation from the home. And the waste segregation of the home is from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, and Indonesia Bersih is from Ministry of Maritime and also Infestations. And then Bersatu Indonesia Bersih is the collaboration campaign from the governments. And besides that, also we are very grateful because two ministries support us that I mentioned before, and we also got supporting videos. You can see in the right side. The first one is from the ministries, and then another one is from government. Some of the governor, like the Central Java, and then from West Java, and then from South Kalimantan, and then from North Sulawesi, and then from Lampung, and we have many supporters. And besides that, also involve more than 3,000 community who involve. And also beside that, also because we have pre-events, so the pre-event also have some of supporters. And besides that, also not only governments, because also we also supported by public figures. More than hundreds influencers support us, and then the media partner also have many supporters from World Cleanup Day in Indonesia. And then this is a last statement from us. We believe that it doesn't matter who we are, where we come from, and the important thing that the ability to trump begin with us, and we should always that miracle happens every day. So we are can together, even we can stay at home right now, and we hope that see you on September 18, 2021. Thank you. Bye.
Ranitya, thank you so much. And what a beautiful way to finish it, by saying that we believe miracles can really happen. And miracles can happen, yes, but not without the hard work of people like you and your team there. So thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. You can finish sharing your screen now, Ranitya, and I'm going to put it out to the floor. If someone would like to ask a question, please put it in the chat. I will see it here in front of me, or else unmute your microphone, tell me your name and where you're from. If you have a question for Ranitya in Indonesia, unmute your microphone and tell us who you are and where you're from. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. People are saying in the comments they really liked it. It was very nice. A very inspirational talk, people are saying. So 5 seconds left. If you have a question, unmute your mic. Say where you're from. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I have a question.
You have a question. Tell us your name and where you're from, and take it away.
Hi, my name is Marilyn, and I'm from Estonia. My question would be, first of all, really inspirational. But my question is, if you have to tell us, like really, like shortly, what do you think is the main reason that Indonesia has been so successful?
Okay, thank you, Marilyn from So this is good questions. Why we are successful? Actually, because our team. We cannot make this happen if we don't have a team, right? So we divided into two teams. The first one is core team, and the second one is local leaders, every areas. And right now, around more than 40 leaders join this also clean conference. So I also very appreciate from them, because without them we cannot work, and we cannot involve more than 4.2 million of volunteers, and we also can handle more than around 4 million. Sorry, it's about around the total of the waste that we already segregate. Yeah, every areas.
Okay, that is great. Thank you so much for the great question and for the great answer. I think
so Marilyn, I
Croatia has a question. Very quickly, Croatia.
A question.
Yeah, please.
A question.
Yes, your question. Yes, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Damaris from Cameroon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Cameroon, loud and clear. Tell us
okay.
What is your question for Indonesia.
Okay, for Indonesia, I want to first of all congratulate for the great presentation. And my question to Indonesia is about, I want to find out, so far the success is really a great one. I want to find out, is the government involved in the activities? Is the government behind the volunteers, or is just a personal initiative without the involvement of the government? That's my question.
Okay, thank you, Cameron. It's very good questions. So actually, for the government, they not only support in the back, they also support us in the front. Why in the front? Because like Ministry of Environment and Forestry, they support us like a letter. So the letter is for the branch of the ministries, like, because every province they have the office of environment and also forestry. So every region, every areas, the ministry help us to give like a letter of recommendation or letter of implementation actions. So why our impact is bigger? Because the role of the ministry, because they are is like it's like policy makers, and they make the policy and make a little bit note to the branch of the ministries, every cities to do and also to hold the events. Yeah,
thank you so much.
I hope my answer can answer your questions.
Yes, and you answered them very well, and that was a great question from Cameroon as well. We're going to keep on moving because we have more great talkers to come too, and we want to get as many questions in as possible later on as well. So thank you once again to Ranitya in Indonesia. Big virtual round of applause to Ranitya. Thank you so much, Ranitya. And before we move on, a quick reminder that this is called a laptop computer, and on it you can do lots of cool things. But if you go to Facebook and you visit the official World Cleanup Day Facebook page, this presentation now, this conference is being streamed live on Facebook Live on the main World Cleanup Day show. So the World Cleanup Day Facebook page. You know what I'm talking about. Go to World Cleanup Day on Facebook and you can share it with all your friends. And thanks to Martin Grand. Martin Grand is a TV producer. He is a genius when it comes to television and video, and he is working that Facebook Live now. He was also behind the television broadcast at the World Cleanup Day show from Tallinn, Estonia. Him and his team, they're fantastic. So thank you, Martin. Now we are moving on from Indonesia to Tanzania, and we're going to say hello to Anna Rocha. Anna is talking about waste and brand audit to increase the impact of World Cleanup Day. So Anna in Tanzania, it is over to you.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. Very inspiring and great presentation so far. Let's go, I'll share my screen as well. Here we go. Remove subtitles. Okay, so here in Tanzania, we have been also involved with the World Cleanup Day since 2018. And we actually have used the World Cleanup Day as a tool to collect data and to advocate for policy change. We have a plastic bag ban that was influenced by the World Cleanup Day data, among other things. And we actually do cleanups along the year to be able to do that. So talking a little bit about the situation that we have here in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. This on the left is actually a river, so you can see the state of the river. And Dar es Salaam is a very, very beautiful city, but is also covered in waste. To give you an idea, sometimes we do some marine litter surveys here, and we go to certain spots, certain beaches of Dar es Salaam, and we clean every day for 13 days, and we collect 100 bags of waste every single day during 13 days. So the volumes of waste that we deal with are very high. So we also map the informal dump site, so then we can have an idea about where people are illegally dumping waste, and we can use that as well with the media, with government, and to raise awareness, as you can see here. We do drone mapping, we do, and then we send teams to do validation of those spots, and we also have people just walking around and mapping as usual. So then why do we do waste and branch audits? Because here, even when you go and clean an area, as I said, like a very 1 day, 2 days, 3 days after, normally the area is dirty again. So the waste and branch audits allow us to turn the World Cleanup Day and the cleanups into a long-term strategy and bring long-term results, as you can see. We do digital data collection. So we use ODK, Open Data Kit, and Android phones that our team is trained to use, so we can record basically everything. And these are just examples of the screens that come on the phone. And then with the data that we collect, then we produce this kind of graphs. So for example, for World Cleanup Day 2020, these are some of the results that we have. So if you see on the right, the waste audit, this is the unit count for different kinds of waste. So you can see plastic beverage bottles, you can see plastic bottle caps, aluminum beverage cans, and that's exactly the unit count that we have done in the country. And on the left, you can see recyclable, reusable, and upcyclable waste with the same, the percentage of each one of these categories of waste in the waste that was found during the World Cleanup Day. We are not able actually to audit all the waste that we collect, because we collect way too much, like we collect thousands and thousands of bags. But we use a 10% sample. And so here you can see the results for hazardous and residual waste as well. It can show you basically the different kinds of waste, the counts and the percentages of them. And here comes a very important portion of this, which is the brands that we find. And so by the moment that we actually segregate the waste, we also start counting the brands so that we can know basically who is producing the waste that is here, where it's coming from, and all of that. So you can see here the brand results that are very interesting. And one of the things that the World Cleanup Day allowed us to know is that 75% of the waste that we actually find comes from Tanzanian companies, which you can see here. So the big two squares are actually the two main producers in Tanzania, and they produce over 41% of the waste that we actually find in our cleanups. So that helps with advocacy. And that helps us moving towards our desired change, which is a Tanzania of clean rivers, waterways, and oceans. That has the population, basically the community, being part of the change. So we use that from the World Cleanup Day, we are able to go with the knowledge portion of the focus. So basically the data collection and the action, because we bring people together, and then that is used to influence policy. So basically all the areas of focus for NIPE Fagio are somehow related to the World Cleanup Day and benefit from the World Cleanup Day and allow us to bring results that are long-term beyond the cleanup itself. And that's it from me. Thank you very much. This is our team. And here also my email address and WhatsApp number in case anyone wants to know more or anyone has any questions. Thank you.
Anna, Rocha, thank you so much. And you were bang on time as well. So we appreciate that presentation there from, yeah, that was fantastic. And we are going to put it out to the floor now very quickly. If anyone has a question they would like to ask, please unmute your microphone now. Tell us your name and where you're from. We'll give you a few seconds to do that. If anybody has a question for Anna in Tanzania. I have a question. Anna, what's the weather like today in Tanzania?
Always sunny, always hot, especially in Dar es Salaam specifically, like it's hot and humid and sunny all the time.
And let me ask you, what's behind you, Anna? Because I see in the sand there are all these brushes upside down. What's going on?
Yeah, so I work for an organization called Nipe Fagio. Nipe Fagio is Swahili for Pass Me the Broom. So this is one event that we have done, and these are the brooms on the sand at the cleanup at the beach.
I just learned some Swahili. Thank you so much. Right, enough of me talking nonsense. I'm looking at the chat here. People really enjoyed your talk. Hello, Anna, says Carlos. If you would like to ask a question, we just have a few seconds before we move on to Mart in Estonia. So we'll give you 5 seconds.
Hello, Colm.
Yes.
Hello. Hi, Anna. Hi to everyone, firstly. Great presentation,
Hi,
Anna. Yes, I have a question for you. The environmental literacy program that you're going to rolling out to schools. How important do you think this program is, especially for Southern Africa? And what do you see the milestones? How do you wish to achieve your milestones?
Yeah, so when you think about the school engagement, we also have been doing, we right now have a plan, we are doing waste and branch audits through the schools, so the students are reading those, exactly to get the students basically connected to the data and to understand how to prove their case using things that they can find and they can see. So, you know that changes do take a long time. And so involving students is extremely important so that the kids actually grow up with the right mindset, because it's easier for that to happen, that to change the mindset of the people that are already grown up. Schools are also important for policy. So we can also use the achievements that we have at the school to influence policy and to bring politicians together. So it's extremely important to somehow connect education with the cleanups themselves.
Great. Thank you so much. Great question. And that looks beautiful and sunny. I like seeing that walk. I like that swag, good swagger. And Anna, thank you once again. Round of applause, everyone, for Anna in Tanzania. Yes, who's sitting in a cafe having a cappuccino or latte or something like that. Now we are moving on, and now we're going to talk about something like this: music. Colm, what's music got to do with World Cleanup Day? Have you lost your mind? What's music got to do with World Cleanup Day? What's sport got to do with World Cleanup Day? What has the church and religion got to do with World Cleanup Day? These are all questions we ask ourselves all the time. And to answer these questions, we have a presentation from Mart Normet, who's in Tallinn, Estonia. And the president is still behind Mart, kneeling down. Is she praying, Mart, or what is she doing?
Yeah, I mean, she's picking up cigarette butts, as you all can see, probably, no?
Yeah, but she's been frozen like that for ages. To ask her to move or do something.
I mean, I can't order president to do anything. I mean, she has her own will. I mean, she's president of Estonia, right?
Mart, you should be the president of Estonia.
I understand we are live globally, so thank you, Colm, for that. So hello, everybody. We are back in Estonia, and yes, this is our lovely president. And previously you saw our former prime minister, who also has been involved in cleaning. So basically what what you can imagine is that World Cleanup Day is pretty big thing in Estonia. Everybody knows about it. And I would say that most people have been out cleaning, whether on the same day or at least on any other day. And so this is quite Estonian thing to do. But we are constantly trying to find new ways to keep it fresh, to keep cleaning cool, especially as we have our main target group, school children, right? And you might remember from Heidi's presentation that 2% of Estonians were out, and I would say that majority of them actually were school children. And also educational wise, I see that this is one of the best target groups it's possible to have. And you might remember Nöp, who sang us the song. Nöp has been our Clean World ambassador for years already. And now I would like to show you some videos. The first video is from the Clean World ambassadors, and it is targeted to the younger generation. And as you might understand from the video, it is flirting with Tarantino movies. And some of you might even notice 2 references to Tarantino movies in that clip. So Holger, if you are ready, please share the screen with the first video.
Now you all might have heard rumors about cigarette butts destroying our Mother Nature. Well, we're gonna change that. We're gonna be dropped into that nature, and we're gonna be doing one thing, and one thing only. That's picking up them cigarette butts.
Me pidime ju kehastuma Once Upon a Time in Hollywoodi tegelasteks.
Correcto.
Aga sa oled ju praegu Inglourious Basterds'i tegelane. Kuulge igatahes, meie pidime teile lihtsalt vaimukalt infot edastama, et 19. septembril on toimumas maailmakoristuspäev, World Cleanup Day.
Just nii. Eelmisel aastal korjati selle raames üle 1 miljoni koni ja teeme nii, et see aasta saame veelgi rohkem. Kohtume 19. septembril.
So that was pretty absurd take on World Cleanup Day, but it traveled pretty well. So those were 3 actually pretty prominent young singers from Estonia. Then we had a little flirt with the Basketball Federation in Estonia because they had their 100th birthday last year. And together we thought what could be a cool thing to do. And they had in mind, what about achieving a Guinness record on the same day as the cleaning takes place? So it is not confirmed yet, but the number is so high that it will be confirmed. So yes, we have achieved a Guinness record during the World Cleanup Day. So Holger, please roll the clip number 2. This is a historic moment in the World Cleanup Day history because we are here on the basketball court together with the Secretary General of Estonian Basketball Federation. And together we are making history because you and all the Estonian people want to throw in how many times free throws?
100,000 made shots.
Wow, 100,000 shots in, and what's the number at this moment now?
It's around 95,000 shots has been made, so we are very close.
And you personally, have you been cleaning already, or you will go after the shots have been made?
Yeah, of course, we started early in the morning, 8 o'clock. I started to clean full Estonia, and also I've been made 200 shots myself in this morning. So.
Crazy Estonians. So, I mean, Guinness World Record is what is being made here today. It is 100,000 shots in free throws. and cleaning together Estonia with all the basketball players whom we can find in Estonia.
History has been made.
I'm not sure if you guys believe it or not, I have been playing basketball myself as well when I was a teenager. When looking up to you, then I would not want to play basketball anymore, but still. Okay guys, I will show you something. Come and follow me. Look, 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 look. This is a cigarette butt. So we are on actually 2 missions at the same time. Cleaning cigarette butts and throwing in free shots. Whoa! And we're here!
Well done, man!
100,000 free throws. So this is Guinness World Record. Congratulations!
Thank you very much. It's just amazing. Feels great.
Yeah, guys, so I encourage every one of you to find maybe different sort of activities maybe to add to your cleanups to make it more fun, to make it more approachable for those people who might maybe not want to come only for cleaning, but then again we can have them all if we really reach out. And the last video I want to show you is about inner cleanup. Yes, we are mostly doing outer cleanups, right? We go out and clean. But what about cleaning ourselves from inside? And we in Estonia had this idea that we should clean first inside and then go outside. Yeah, let's roll the clip number 3, please.
Täna on maailmakoristuspäev. Oleme siin Viimsi vabakoguduses selleks, et puhastada oma sisemaailma ja minna välja koristama prügi.
Kui Jumal andis inimestele selle maailma, siis seal on pigem pilt sellisest peremehest, et ole peremees ja valitse, aga kui me täna vaatame enda ringi, siis pigem meid kutsutakse olema tarbija. Ja ma usun, et selle maailma koristuspäeva üks võlu ongi see, et me saame olla eeskujuks.
See on päris õudne ju.
See on teata niimoodi siia kivide alla kiilu, seda vist ei õnnestu ilma ekskavaatorita, kui et kivid üles võtta.
2 teevad tööd ja 3 vaatavad. Et selline on siis töökultuur. See on elu. See on elu.
Kutsume üles kõiki palvetama Eestimaa ja Eesti rahva pärast, kui me korjame prügi, et õnnistada oma maad ja rahvast, et Jumala vaim looks uut, looks muutust inimeste südametes, inimeste eludes, et see prügi ei kukuks ei meie hinge ega ka maha, vaid et seda prügi eriti ei tekikski.
Yeah, I think we lost a bit in the translation there because of the quality, but I think the overall message was there. Thank you so much, Holger, for sharing the videos. And I think that this last bit, yeah, doing prayers and doing the cleanup together, this is a format which we would like actually to discuss with whole global company we have here. So whoever is interested, please contact me. Maybe we can build something really great and big out of that to add also inner cleanup to the outer cleanup. I will put all the links to the videos here as well to our chat and my contacts. So let's keep in contact, guys. So yeah, we had so much things going on in Estonia. Hope you enjoyed some bits of that.
Mart, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation, and it's just incredible to see how you sport was involved, and then the inner cleanup as well with Brit. Just really well done, pushing the boundaries, being innovative, and that's what keeps it fun. That's what keeps it interesting for everyone. So let's see, Mart, if anyone has a question for you about what you did or how you did it. If you do have a question for Mart, just unmute your microphone and tell us your name and where you're from. We'll give you a few seconds to do it. Question for Mart. Mart,
You can always ask what the weather is in Estonia.
well, Mart, you know what? You know the president behind you is picking up cans. But the photograph, I thought when I first looked at it, she had a can balanced on her head. Let's talk for a second so your photograph comes up again. You need to talk so we see you full screen.
Oh, sorry. Ah, I see. That's a traffic sort of, I think there maybe. Yeah, well, whatever. Good point.
I thought she was balancing a can on her head, and I thought that's very impressive.
But we have sun here as well.
Does anybody have a question for Mart? You have 5 seconds. 5.
Hello, Colm. Can you hear me? It's
yes,
Ignas
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's Ignas from Lithuania. I have actually a question and kind of an idea. I was really impressed by this basketball federation and 100,000 shots made. And I'm thinking if next year for World Cleanup Day, we could do the global Guinness record with basketball shots made in 100 countries, let's say 10 million shots made or something like that. Yeah.
That's really great idea. Really great. Yeah, absolutely.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Lithuania. Anyone else a question for Mart before we move on? Unmute your microphone and tell us your name, where you're from. Don't be shy because we're all friends.
Hi, Thomas from Iceland.
Hey.
Mart, can you send me an email? Can you find my email within the Let's Do It world?
I tried to send you email. Okay.
All right, because I got an idea for you. Okay.
Lovely.
Great.
Ideas are good. Ideas are what we like. So Mart, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big round of applause, everyone, for Mart. Woo! Yay! Boom, boom, boom. Yo, Mart, we love you. We love you. All right. Okay. We're moving on now from Mart, and we're going to our host, Holger Holland. Holger Holland hasn't slept in 4 months organizing this conference. He is in Munich in Germany. We are coming to you from Germany for this conference. So let's go over to Holger now. Holger, you are going to be talking about, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. We are not going to Holger yet. I skipped somebody by accident. We're going to talk about successful organization of the World Cleanup Day 2020 in Ethiopia. My apologies, Holger. Stand by for another few minutes. And we're going over to Haregewoin. Haregewoin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry, Haregewoin. I nearly skipped you by accident.
How dare you?
I apologize. Do you forgive me?
Well, I'll think about it.
Think about it, and I look forward to your presentation. It's over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Heidi, congratulations on everything. So many people. So should I say good morning, good afternoon, everyone, the world, greetings in all language. So this is Hareg. You can just call me Hareg. That is much easier. For those of you who have never heard of the country Ethiopia, we are found in the eastern corner at the Horn of Africa. I should have brought a map here. Am I having my presentation on, or shall I project?
Whichever you find easier, Hareg. So if you would prefer to share it, or whichever you prefer.
Okay, so let me try. So.
And it's Hareg, not Hagrid, like from Harry Potter.
No, it's Hareg.
Just checking.
All right. So I'm one of those people who have never heard of World Cleanup Day a year ago, as you can imagine. But then here we are, being the biggest mobilizers in Africa. So a little bit about UN Habitat. This is a UN body that deals with human settlements and urban issues. We're global. We have presence in many countries. A little bit about Ethiopia. We are the second most populous country in Africa. We are not that urban. So even though we have our urban percentage at 22% from the total population, and we are growing fast, but we believe our cities contribute a lot towards the economy of the country. And us being UN habitat, we mostly focus on sustainable cities and communities. So for those of you who don't know, that would be Sustainable Development Goal number 11. But we also cover other sustainable goals in order to achieve all the goals, hoping before the time ends. And then as UN Habitat, we have country goals. Specifically for Ethiopia, we work on 4 pillars. So the waste issue comes under urban environment and basic services. So that's the wing we are working on. And gladly, we are also implementing a new country program that is going to be implemented for the coming 5 years. And solid waste management is going to be one of the branches that we will focus on. A little bit about waste in Ethiopia. Generally, waste is a problem, like most countries. But what makes it special in Ethiopia is that we have actually a very low coverage of solid waste management service in not just in the capital Addis Ababa, but in most cities in Ethiopia. So according to data, we know that less than 50% of locally generated waste is collected. So just like the pictures that you saw from Tanzania, the picture that you see on the right is a small river, and what you can see on the side is this is just a dumping ground. So people find it easier to dump waste in areas that are not so visible. As UN Habitat, we've been in Ethiopia since 1998, but we are implementing projects since 2013. So one of our biggest projects is the rehabilitation of dump sites. So the picture that you see in the left is the biggest dump site in Ethiopia, which unfortunately a couple of years back had collapsed and ended up again, unfortunately, in the days of more than 100 people who were residing close to the dump site. So the intervention of UN Habitat came about this time with the waste dump sites sorting methodology that had been tested and applied in Japan. So this Fukuwa method was proposed as a rearrangement and stabilization of this waste dump site. So you can see the progress starting in May all the way to March. And we are not only implementing it in Addis, but also in other secondary cities. So Addis Ababa, Bahar Dar, Hawassa. These are projects that are being implemented through UN Habitats, and more cities are coming forward now that they understand the benefits of having a strategically safer way of arranging sites. And then coming back to World Cleanup Day. So someone had said it has to be fun. Yes, it was fun even for us. So a couple of us have design backgrounds. So these are the couple of posters that we did. And of course, we had to be conscious about COVID. We participated, everyone, grateful for the participation of the Ministry of Construction and Housing Development. The one that you see in the middle is the mayor of Addis, and then other city leaders in major cities were also part of the event. So it was really a knock-on effect with COVID conscious manner. We had our mask on, one side with UN Habitat logo and the other with World Cleanup Day, so you can imagine, and then everyone was involving. So these are a couple of numbers from major cities that participated, 850,000 plus all in all, everybody from all walks of life. And then, of course, we are grateful for everyone participating in that event. And of course, UN Habitat was also appreciated by the city government of Addis Ababa. We even got a cup and a certificate of recognition. So what do we see in the future for Ethiopia? Well, a clean city, clean cities, clean world in the future. And we are also working with Westwise. We are hoping to do the intervention from backwards, from waste dumping sites all the way to the backyards of people, cleaning every house, every city, and the world. We are hopeful, and we know we'll do it. Thank you so much.
Hareg, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You said you would think about it. Do you forgive me now?
Oh, yeah.
You forgive me
because I
now.
finished on time.
Thank you so much. UN Habitat in Ethiopia, that was a great presentation, and that cooperation between World Cleanup Day and UN Habitat, as you said, the logo on one side and the other logo on the other side, is just fantastic. If anyone has a question for Hareg, please unmute yourself now, tell us where you're from and your name, and ask your question. You have a few seconds to do so. Don't miss this great opportunity, guys.
Excuse me, I have a question. I have a question, please.
Yes, go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Hello, everyone. Good night, good afternoon, and good morning. I am Alvin Zarnindo Prima. I'm sorry, it's a black window in here. I'm from Indonesia. Hello, Haregewoin from Ethiopia, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I have this many questions for you, but I have read in my book. Okay, this work cleanup day or this action due during a week or 1 decade in 1 year, right?
Yes.
Yes. So what we know that garbage is generated every day from human activity, that's from domestic, factory, office, and dam. And how or what should Ethiopia do to reduce garbage every day? And what impact from human in your country? And then could this action done continuously? So it's not doing just 1 week, but it's done continuously every day.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Unfortunately, as a country, we are not doing much sorting.
Yes.
So everybody knows that 1 month's garbage is another month's valuable. So there's a lot of recycling going on, but not in a way that most Western countries would do. So they don't end up in factories, but people tend to find ways of reusing materials that are discarded. Plastic is one area that we feel that we need to intervene in, because as you know, it's becoming a problem all over the world. So we have those people who are finding jobs out of collecting these plastic bottles. So that is one area that people feel that they need to separate on. So plastics are usually separated, but other garbage not so much, unless it's for reuse. And then in terms of country, again, because the municipal waste collection is really at the lower penetration, we rely on these associations who do the waste picking and sorting on their own. And then we are also not so good with composting. So again, that is an area that every one at individual level should involve in. So we are hoping that by being in the waste system, at least we can educate the people in such a way that the waste that is collected and ending up at the dump sites could reduce. So we are hopeful, still hopeful that we can reduce the waste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hareg, thank you so much. And thank you very much for that great question as well. And it's great to hear the variety of questions coming from all over the world. And I know that we're a bit over time, so we're going to say thank you, Hareg and UN Habitat in Ethiopia. Thank you so much. Virtual round of applause for Hagrid.
My pleasure.
Great Potter. All right, thank you so much. Okay, we're going to move on now to the man that I put before you. He is the man behind much of the organization. Of course, it's all teamwork. And it is Holger Holland in Let's Do It Germany in Munich. Holger, it's over to you.
Yes, thanks for that. But I will now hand over to Philip so I can further take care and continue to take care about the tech part. And so I give up.
This is very confusing. So she's handing to me, I'm handing to you, and you're handing to
Philip. You, Philip. Perfect.
So it's going hand in hand, Colm. So everything is fine. Yeah. So thank you, Holger. As you see in Germany, the president is really serving now as a tech support. So I'm totally welcome to take over at this point. And tell you something about what we did in Germany last year on World Cleanup Day, and probably what our strategic issues are at that point. So now I try to share my screen, which might be this one, and you might see our presentation, which is entitled "With the Cooperation is the Key." And that is exactly something we found out in Germany. As you may know, we're in this organization, like Let's Do It Germany, for now 2.5 years. So it was our third World Cleanup Day, the third World Cleanup Day we did as Let's Do It Germany. What we found out for us is Germans, that it's really important to have a look on how we create cooperations with several players in society. Of course, the issues are always in any place in the world different. We heard a lot about that, and it breaks my heart when I see and listen what happens in Africa, for example. That is unbelievable, to be honest, and gives me a lot of anger and motivation to go forward with this project, and that it's really important to do so. What we did last year, even in pandemic times, subtitle of this little keynote, is that we really doubled in Germany our numbers. Like the third time we doubled our numbers, we tenfolded our funding money we got last year, and it is just the beginning of a success story, to be honest, because as you may know, Germany has around about 80 million people, and we have around about nearly 100,000 participants had last year on World Cleanup Day in Germany. So 5% of 80 million are around about 4 million. So there's a little gap we have to kind of fill up in the next years. But I'm very, very positive that we will manage that. So me, Philip, I'm the Vice President of Let's Do It Germany. So I will give you a little impression of what we did last year in Munich, because we have been in Munich last year at World Cleanup Day 2. So this is partly pictures from World Cleanup Day in Munich, especially on the right side. You see we did for Munich a lot of more artistic stuff to really get the crowd down there. What we do is we try to focus each year on another region in Germany. 2018 we have been at our first World Cleanup Day in Berlin, which was a really big success. In 2019 we went to Frankfurt in Hesse, and as you see last year we have been in Munich. And even there, a big thank to Mayor Reiter from the government of Munich, who really made it possible that we have been there last year, even between those pandemic shutdowns and everything worked out. You heard him in the opening ceremony. Thank you to that. What also was important for us last year, we had two big partners. Or two relevant supporters that really made this possible in Munich. On the one hand, there was a radio station which gave us round about, I don't know, 3 hours of net time on the radio with interviews, with promotion for being part in the World Cleanup Day, taking part in that, in the whole nationwide radio stations they got. That was really fantastic. And we also had another partner which was really important for our success in Munich, which was a platform, nebenan.de it is called. It's a German platform where neighbors can gather and organize what they have in mind. And I would like to welcome on stage for just a very, very quick introduction of what they do, to show you that there are good partners out there that are really worth to work with. Jonas from nebenan.de. I don't know if he's still here. Jonas, if you want to say some words, this would be your chance.
Yes, Philip, I'm still here. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I won't take up too much of your time, just give a quick idea of why we actually collaborated. So we are German social business, and we're trying to build a platform to help people feel at home in their neighborhood. So sustainability for us is a core part of our mission. It's just fits right in there. And we actually did cleanup collaborations in the past with municipal partners, and our users have used the platform for the past years to already start cleanup collaborations. So when Philip came to us and approached us, it was obvious that a collaboration would be just a big win-win situation. So we included the World Cleanup Day Germany in our communication and exposed the campaign to our user base of about 1.6 million people. And I think we managed to send a couple of thousands to the registration page, and also encouraged neighbors to post about the campaign in their neighborhood, start a cleanup action themselves, invite neighbors. And I think, and Philip, maybe you can say some more things about this, but that especially last year with this situation, it was obvious that Nebenan.de is an important tool, or that online tools are really necessary to engage people in these times. And I just want to highlight one anecdote of a Berlin neighbor who has been doing cleanups over the last 3 years, and he's actually been organizing over 20 cleanups. He does them every month, and he has been connecting, dozens, if not hundreds of people, and removed about 5 tons of waste from his neighborhood. So just one person in that case, getting people together from his neighborhood. Yeah, and in 2021, we want to deepen the collaboration, get more neighbors on the street, and also involve our French and Spanish platforms. And just to part with, I want to just say that wherever you are in the world, you always have a neighborhood, and you can see it as a resource and as a big potential driver for getting and rallying people to help you. And there's many neighborhood platforms out there in the world. I know that Nebenan.de is not the only one. Yeah. So take a look at them and use them to get people together.
Perfect. Thank you, Jonas. So this is really, I can't underline it more clearly. There was really a very, very good win-win situation last year, of course, because otherwise I think it wouldn't have been that big. And I said it in the beginning, we more than doubled our participants in Germany, even through this pandemic times. So this was really, really a big thing for us. So thank you, Jonas, and I'm looking forward to the cooperation this year. And to not lose too much time, I also want to do a remark on what we also did. The topic patrons. We really got last year every state secretary in the country who is doing the environmental affairs in the federal countries in Germany to be one of our patrons. We also got one prime minister from Saarland who, thank you, Colm, who said that the people should go out and support our project. And so this is a quite important part, and we're working on that, especially in 2021, where there are federal elections in Germany. This will be quite a big thing. And last but not least, you see here one important thing we tested last year too. This was the ambassador down on the right side. Christine Figgener was first ambassador of Let's Do It Germany for the World Cleanup Day 2020 and became then ambassador for the whole global movement. She's a fantastic person. She's also on this conference. So if you like to listen to her words, she is somewhere in the program. I don't know the date right now, but feel free to join her and listen to her. She's fantastic. And I'm really proud to have people like that in our movement and in our German chapter, and so it's great. And not to take more time than 7 minutes, I hope it's fitting, Colm, I give back to you, and thank you very much.
had to use it, the foghorn, but
Nice.
you deserve it all the time because so much work has gone in from Germany to make all this happen. So thank you everyone who is taking part, led by Holger there. I like that Holger passed to someone else who passed to someone else. Everyone's joining hands in this together, so it's fantastic. Very quickly, if you want to stop sharing your screen, we can get it back in the gallery view. And if anyone would like to ask a question to Let's Do It Germany, who are hosting the conference this year, well then unmute your microphone, tell us your name and where you're from. Do we have a question from anyone? If you'd like to unmute your microphone and say your name and where you're from. I hear a voice there. Do we have a question?
My name is Abdel Fattah. I'm Abdel Fattah Hussein from Somalia, near to Ethiopia. If anyone does not know Somalia, it is at the Horn of Africa. So my question is, how does the refugees that come to Germany, mainly from Syria, participate in your work? How often do you involve them in your work?
Good question.
I think I didn't get it totally. There was a...
I'll repeat the question just for time's sake, but he was saying that the refugees that come to Germany from Syria and Iraq, I think it was, those countries, just refugees, do you involve them in the cleanup, or are they able to be involved in the cleanup?
Yeah, of course they are. That's especially a reason why we try to really go on this local community platforms and else to really engage as many people as possible. We didn't have a strong focus on that throughout the last years because we, at first of all, of course, try to build up the foundation of Let's Do It Germany and how we organize the World Cleanup Day. But yes, it is a great idea for the future. And I know that there were some local areas where there were many refugees supporting the cleanups and using it as an option to get in touch with the people. So it's a really great project for getting in touch with refugees and locals.
Thank you very much, Philip from Let's Do It Germany, and to Mr. Hussein in Somalia for that question. Thank you. Big round of applause virtually, everybody, for Let's Do It Germany. Boom, boom, boom. And we are going to move on quickly now. Before we go to our next speaker, even though this conference is being hosted by Let's Do It Germany, I am actually sitting in Rome, in Bella, Italy, Bella Roma. I'm right beside the Vatican, so that's from Pope Francis. But we're going to talk to Italy, the head of Let's Do It Italy, shortly. But before we do that, we're going to try something now to get an idea of what has been inspiring you, people all over the world, as you've been watching this conference. We're about to put a link. If you look at the chat, everybody, we're going to put a link in there, and it's for a website called menti.com. You see it there, menti.com. If you go to menti.com on your phone, go to menti.com on your phone and put in the code. And the question is 3 presentations that inspired you personally the most. Which 3, you have to pick from those ones, inspired you the most? So go to menti.com right now, put in that code from the chat and answer the questions. Which 3 presentations inspired you the most? And we'll see which ones are coming top of the list. This is live information, by the way. These numbers and graphs are coming in as you answer it on your phone. If you need to get the code again, just move your mouse on the screen and click the chat button at the bottom of the Zoom, and you'll see the website there, menti.com, and you'll see the code 6170971. Which 3 inspired you the most? Oh, by the way, sorry, the code is also on the screen there. Look at the top of the screen, menti.com, and the code is there after it. On your phone, vote which 3 inspired you the most. That's pretty cool. Indonesia seems to be leading with 22 votes. And I know that Augustina and the team in Let's Do It Indonesia have always been so inspirational from the very beginning. The hard work that they put in and the huge amount of people. I remember the first year they got involved and they mobilized millions of people in their first year, millions. Iran, of course, is also very inspiring because of the sanctions they have imposed on them, the government restrictions, the prevention of crowds gathering, and they fight through that to still get great results. Estonia, of course, is going to get high points because it's where it all started. And the United States is getting lots of points because Bill and Steve are just hilarious. We'll let the voting go on for another minute or so because I know people are still getting a chance. And don't forget to mute your microphone. I think it looks like we have a winner, everybody, so far. I mean, we could wait for some more votes, but I don't think it's going to change the balance too much. It looks like Indonesia are in the lead with the most inspirational. Of course, they're all fantastic, but this is just so far what has spoken to you personally, what has inspired you. So Indonesia first with 37 votes, and then we've got Estonia, that's Heidi with 27, and we have Iran after that, and then everyone's getting great votes, but Indonesia, people are still voting. Oh, this is fun. This is great. I know we can't be together in person because of that thing we're not allowed to talk about. And by the way, we hope that that thing that we're not allowed to talk about hasn't affected you too badly. Of course, everyone's on lockdown, but we hope that your family are safe and well. But it's great that we're able to do this virtually. And so far, I think it's been going pretty smoothly. I mean, it's always a bit crazy with microphones open and feedback. But there you go. Okay, Farastia, you can finish sharing the screen. Big round of applause. Indonesia. So far, the most inspirational. Followed by Estonia. And then followed, tied by Iran and Ethiopia are in tied position. Then Tanzania, and then Germany and the United States. So well done. You can take it off the screen now, and we'll go on to our next speaker. We're going to actually work through the break because we're quite over time. And don't worry, because when we get to the party tonight, even though I'm drinking tea, we're all going to have a drink together, have a bit of fun. And it won't be me talking like this, annoying everybody. It will be us talking together. We'll get your party pieces, your songs. We're going to find out more about each other. We're going to call on people by surprise. So it's going to be fun. Be warned. Now, I'm in Italy right now, and the head of Let's Do It Italy, Vincenzo. Vincenzo is here to talk about going from 1,000 volunteers in 2013 to over 150,000 in 2020, right here in Italy. So, Vincenzo, it's over to you.
Hi, Colm. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my friend of passion?
Thank you. I'm so sad to stay there. To hi to you and everyone, of course, but I am so happy to share our experience with you. And
it is good. It is great to have you here. We can hear you loud and clear. Maybe come a little bit closer to the camera, but please take away your presentation. Let us hear.
Okay, I open my presentation, but do you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear your beautiful Italian accent. We can hear it perfectly.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and I'd like to share with you our experience, and is 8 years that we are in Let's Do It in this big family that is the Let's Do It world. And in the first year we organized one local action, is one little place that I am sure that you know, that is the Vesuvio. We organized the cleanup action, and we involved 1,000 people, volunteers, in 8 years ago. After we work a lot to involve new people and a lot of people, and we change a lot. And with World Cleanup Day in 2018, and we involved more people, of course, respect to first time that was 8 years ago. And after 3 years ago in 2019, of course, was better. And the last year with COVID, and the result was very, very, very. And I'd like to see the result years for years. And the first years, that was 8 years ago, we organized 4 cleanup action, and we collected 50 tons of tires, plastic waste, mixed, and a lot of plastic in a little area that was a national park of Vesuvio, is a protected area. And after we involved, of course, more and more people, and organized 200 cleanups in all of Italy. Also in Venice, for example, we clean up the river. In National Park of Vesuvio, we clean up the protected area, and in other parts of Italy, we collected the waste on river and in forest. The 2 years ago, in 2019, we organized more cleanup action, but not only cleanup action. Also, in Milan, for example, we organized during the Fashion Week, the fashionable art week, and with model and with actor and with famous people that spoke about sustainability and environmental. And the last year was very, very complicated, of course, because in Italy, not only in Italy, of course, was the problem of the for COVID, and we are so we are not as involved the people, but last time we try to involve our partners, for example, the Bekele, Leroy Merlin, and the NGO, municipality, and all of them said, yes, I'd like to participate to World Cleanup Day. And we organized 3,000 cleanups in all of Italy, and the number was very, very different in 2019, and for us is very satisfied because of the COVID period. And what is the key of the success is the cooperation, but cooperation with group. This is the question. And cooperation with association, for example, and we cooperate with WWF, with the Fridays for Future, with the Scout, with the Zero Waste, and Lega Ambiente, but not only. We cooperation company. The company that we cooperate was a lot. For example, was Decathlon. Only Decathlon, for example, last year organized, involved the people to in all of Italy, and organized more of 2,000 actions. Only Decathlon, and it's very important to cooperate with the different companies for solve the problem of waste. And cooperation with protected area on sea, and protected area in forest, for example. Cooperation for institution, and we involve the different mayor, for example, the mayor of Rome, our ministry, the environmental ministry, to participate at cleanup action and to support us for communicate that it's important to clean, but it's important to clean, but it's important also that the clean is every time. And it's important the partnership also with Army or with the Connect for Climate, for example. We continue, for example, our work. to involve sportsman, model, actor, artist, influencer, and of course, blah, 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 because it's a lot of people that participate and help us in to involve a lot of people, of course, because without them, was very difficult to involve the people to participate. And we choose the last year to promote 3 different actions. That is the individual cleanup, the group cleanup, and the digital cleanup. Is a 3 action that the people can choose. Usually, the people choose the individual cleanup for of course for pandemic problem in Italy, and for example, our influencers there. We have also Erika Santos that participate is a part of team of fashionable economics that asked me that she wants to speak with you, and I don't know if
so honored to talk with you guys. I'm so honored to be part of the Eco Art, the fashion show that Natalia organized. I'm so happy that you are doing this meeting today about doing something about the world. We have this important position that we have a voice and help people. So
the contribute of Erika is very important because she's a big influencer and she supports support us to organize the fashionable eco art show during the fashion week in Milan. Also, for example, we have it's very important for us to arrive to involve more and more people. It's important to collaborate with different people. For example, with sportsmen, with for in agriculture, it's important. For example, for planting the tree, it's important. Organize the event for protection the human rights, for example, in collaboration with Fridays for Future in different square in Italy. Collaborate for educational program with the ministry and with our school. Collaborate also to invest in startup, in technologies that are startup for solutions to solve the usual problem of waste. And for us, it's very important. And for close my speech, I don't know if you remember last year about blah blah blah. So 1 month ago, also Greta Thunberg spoke about blah blah blah. Blah 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 is a concept. She suggests to not make only blah blah blah, but make action and not blah blah blah. And for us, it's very important. I use one short term that was collaboration in Italy. Maybe I mistake this because the important is not collaboration. The important is make a family. In Italy, we have the key of success is not collaboration, but the key of success is because we are a family that wants to solve one big problem. Thank you to all. I don't know if there is answer.
That is great. Vincenzo, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You can stop sharing your screen and we'll get a virtual round of applause.
I think that I stay in 7 minutes.
You went a little bit over 7 minutes, but you know what? That's the passion, and Italian people have a lot of passion, Vincenzo, and I can see people clapping on the screen here. So very quickly, because we're coming up to the party, we have 2 more presentations left, 2 short presentations, and then it is get to know each other time. So if you would like to ask Vincenzo a question, well then please ask the question now. Unmute your microphone, my friends, and tell us your name and where you're from. If you have a question for Italy, and if not, we'll move on to the next speaker, who's from the Netherlands. We'll give it 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Vincenzo, you are fantastic. Round of applause once again for Vincenzo.
Thank you.
But hey, well done. Bella, la vita è bella. Thank you so much. Now we are going from Italy. We are going to the Netherlands, a fast-growing movement in the Netherlands. It's building at a rapid pace. And to tell us more now, it's Robert Möhring. So Robert Möhring, it is over to you.
Thank you, Colm. Good to be here. Nice to be here. I'm going to share my screen just now. Oh, there is another screen being shared.
Yes, I think the person who's this person has been, I'm not sure who it is, but they've been drawing beautiful things for the last hour, 2 hours. So I think we should.
It's a creative person, though.
There's nothing against the drawings. They're beautiful art, and we have an artist with us. But Robert, it's over to you.
We're not complaining about the artist. Never.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see the screen now?
Yes. Beautiful.
Perfect. 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 Well, good afternoon, everyone. Well, good to see you, everyone. I'm Robert Möhring from the Netherlands, and I'm the project leader of World Cleanup Day in our tiny country. And I'm very pleased to tell you our success story from last year, because as you can see on this map, this is a part of the Netherlands, and as you can see, we have pink dots everywhere, and every pink dot symbolizes a unique cleanup action on the 19th of September last year. So it was basically all our country was covered full of pink things. But before we get to the results, I would like to tell you a little bit more about the last few years, because it all started in 2018. We all started with World Cleanup Day in the Netherlands, and it was just a number of 300 cleanups. And as you can see in the figure, it has been increasing tremendously until 2,500 unique cleanups in our country in 2020. And this also resulted in the number of in an increase in the number of participants there, where we had like 2,000 only in 2018 and 16,000 in 2019. We had like 40,000 in 2020. So for us, that's the proof that there is such a big support base for the Dutch citizens to participate on an important day like World Cleanup Day. And the last result, which is also very important, and I will explain a little bit more later on, is the litter data. So the reason why we have World Cleanup Day is, on the one hand, to clean up the environment, to get rid of all the trash, the cans and the bottles and the wrappers and so on. But we do it because we also want to get more knowledge and understanding about the specific items we find, which brands are most found, which items are the biggest problem. And with all this kind of data, we can really make a change, and we can start working towards solutions. And I will give an example of a solution later on. But now, seeing all these figures in our evaluation last year, I called my colleague Karina, who is also in the conference at the moment, and I asked her, how did we fix this? These numbers were increasing massively. So what did we do good? And I think we can explain it very well according to a few sort of building blocks. And the first one, which made World Cleanup Day a success for us, is having a home base, having a platform where people can get all the information they need to find, get checklists with the materials you need to bring along with you, how to deal with COVID, to keep distancing, wear gloves, the protection of stuff. But this whole platform was also the place where people could sign up their own cleanup. So we basically encouraged everyone to map their own cleanup on the Netherlands. And if you want to, you can also ask everyone in your surrounding, your family, your friends, your loved ones, to join your cleanup and join forces on a specific day. So we basically created an environment where people could interact with one another, while us being the one who had to intervene or who had to coordinate. People were coordinating their own cleanups, and that's what we wanted to achieve. Secondly, cooperation has been mentioned multiple times during the start of the conference. But also for the Netherlands, it's very important to work with municipalities, to work with schools, to work with big companies who had a lot of employees, who have the money to create those kind of cleanups. And this is a perfect example of one of the biggest organizations in the Netherlands, which is the National Postcode Lottery. And they provided several cleanups throughout the country. And at the spot, they were providing the materials that people could use while cleaning up the beaches or the rivers, the shores, or the city centers, whatever, you name it. So I think working together with these kind of organizations is handy, but it's also very practical because you can spread the message to a bigger audience. Third is the campaign machine we built. So we had a lot of content on social media. We created our own content. We had free ads on radio, on television. We had, like example you can see here, we had big screens next to the highway to attend people in advance and prior to World Cleanup Day to also join forces, sign up your cleanup, go to worldcleanupday.nl, get the information you need, and put your pink pin on the map of the Netherlands. And I think this worked out so well that we were able to reach so many different kind of target groups, like the schools with the kids, for example, but also with the ambassadors of the Plastic Soup Foundation, who have kind of their own group of followers, like a radio DJ and a big swimmer, a famous swimmer in the Netherlands. So those people were also encouraging their followers to join forces on World Cleanup Day. And I think the combination of all those communication mechanisms is perfect and worked out very well. Fourth, and last but not least, we invited the Vice President of the Euro Commission, Frans Timmermans, to officially launch World Cleanup Day. So we created a kind of broadcast, which was, of course, online and not physically, but we invited him in a broadcast. We talked with him about the problems of plastic pollution in the Netherlands, in the European Union. And he kind of kicked off World Cleanup Day and gave the official launch of World Cleanup Day. And nearly 6,000 to 7,000 people have been attending the live stream, which was pretty amazing. The reason, like I said, why we have World Cleanup Day in the Netherlands is for, of course, cleaning up the place surround us. But it's also important to map the litter we find, because only then we can make cleaning up really valuable. If we know the brands like Coca-Cola, which pops up in the top 10 every year, then we can confront them with the result and we can really stimulate them to make a real change. So we did. By encouraging everyone who was attending on World Cleanup Day in the Netherlands to also download the app Literati, start cleaning up, and while cleaning up also photograph every item you find. So at some point you would see all the red dots you can see, they are all unique items. And imagine that you have like thousands of them covering the Netherlands, which is pretty amazing to see, but it's also very much valuable input for us to start campaigning on. This is a result of the data. So on one single day, we were able to gather 127,000 unique items with the Literati app. So we've been analyzing that data, and here you can see that the most found items is the cigarette butt, like Heidi mentioned before, and the wrappers and the cans. So we have specific items we can focus on, and we can attack the brands as well, because also we publish every year on the same day like World Cleanup Day. As a result, we publish the top 7 most polluting brands. It's very important to keep pressure on them. Well, this is a sheet and I'm wrapping it up, which is pretty amazing to me, because in 2018, on the left side, we started with World Cleanup Day, and we started with, for the first time, gathering the data from trash. The yellow bars are the dates of World Cleanup Day. So you can really see the impact of World Cleanup Day in the total amount of data we gather. And that's not nothing, because for 2020, the average of items we gathered was 60,000, which is a lot per month. So we can start actively campaigning on that. And this is my final sheet. It's a pretty sad photo, though. It's a poor animal who is trapped in a cup of McDonald's. And we don't want this. We don't want these cups of McDonald's in our environment. So our aim for next year is that we're gonna check and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna link the data we find, which you can see in the graph here. We're gonna link it to a solution with McDonald's. And as you can see, from all the cups which were gathered in the investigation, 60% contained the logo of McDonald's. So to us, that is a clear signal. We have to start talking with McDonald's how we can fix this with reusable cups, for example, or with a deposit scheme on these cups. There are easy fixes, and we are ready and well, trust and confident that we can find this solution. That will be it. Thank you.
Great. Robert, thank you so much for that presentation about the situation in the Netherlands. And it was great to see all the mapping and the data. And very quickly, you can stop sharing your screen now. That was fantastic. If anyone has a question for Robert and the Netherlands, unmute your microphone, tell us where you are, and you can ask your question now. We have 5 seconds. Yes, sir.
Oh my God. Yeah, Alaji from Gambia.
Zambia, yeah, go ahead with your question, Zambia.
Okay, Alaji. My name is Alaji from Gambia.
Yes, we can hear you, Zambia.
Are you hearing me?
What would you like to ask?
This is a form of I'm seeking advice and motivation. I'm impressed what he's talking about on all what they have been doing for the past week. First, we have been doing this for the past 2 years, but what is the form? We need a form of motivation from him. What does he have for us so that we can add more? Because we are just starting this just 2 years for the past years. So we are asking advice from him so that our people can, so that I can send the message to our people so that we can do more and more and more for the communities. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I get the question.
I think the line is too bad to go back and repeat the question, but I think it was how do we keep it going and do it more and more to keep the momentum up so it's not just maybe once a year or focused on one time. I think that's what the question could have been like. But if you want to just touch on that, how to keep the momentum going all year round, Robert?
Well, I think what helps is keep people motivated. So we should not be using cleaning up the world as a one-time and single thing on September. But I think we should do it like on a structural basis. And if we can highlight the importance of the data which we gather while we are cleaning up, and we can also show them, the public, that we really make a change with solutions which came out of that data, like the example of McDonald's. If we can share that with everyone, and we can start in the Netherlands with this pilot deposit scheme, for example, and we can spread it out to the whole country and then to Belgium and Germany. And because McDonald's is everywhere, this could be such a big case study for all the other countries. And I think that those kind of solutions are a result of World Cleanup Day, and they will be a motivator for everyone who should also join this great movement. I'm confident.
Great. Robert in the Netherlands, big virtual round of applause for Robert. Thank you very much, Robert. And we're going to move on now from the land of cogs and the tulips and the windmills. We're going to Kazakhstan. To Shasalim in Kazakhstan, and the topic of this talk is to save or to destroy. What do you do? Do you save or destroy? So Kazakhstan, it's over to you. And just to unmute your microphone, Kazakhstan, so we can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Colm, my name is Shasalim. You remember
Shasalim.
me?
I'm sorry I pronounced it wrong, Shasalim, but it's good to see you again.
Same to you, my friend. It's always pleasure to see and be in LDV family. It's a huge family. And to save or destroy, it's a second topic. But the first topic which I would like to share with you, it's a success story of Kazakhstan. Allow me to start. Since 2014, I found the national movement which I call for the Clean Country. And really, Kazakhstan is very big, and it's number 9 in the world And still it allows us to have a lot of rubbish around our country. And when you have a huge column, it's no more presentation. It's supposed to be there. Can you share it?
Now, I do not have your presentation. I think people share the presentation from their own computers.
No, I sent it over to Heidi in America, and I thought they will share it.
Yes.
Okay, I think if someone has to share, by the way, everyone, this is a glimpse behind the scenes of what goes on. And if just one sec, okay, we're working on it. We'll have it in 1 second. And just to mention as well, I'm surprised at how smoothly this has gone. I think it's a testament to all the work that everyone has put in when you have so many people on a Zoom call doing presentations, playing videos.
So it is there. It is there.
There we go. And we'll hand back to you, back to Kazakhstan.
Back to Kazakhstan, back to Shasalim. Okay, success story of Kazakhstan. Second page, please. As I told you, since 2014, I founded a national movement which I called We Are for the Clean Country. And because of we are number 9 in the world by the area territory, we still have a lot of rubbish. And next, please. Next slide, please. So next one. And when you have a huge country, there is a huge issues to save or destroy your country. This is what idea I decide to save. And today, together with my friends, and we held over 50 events during 2014 and 2020. These events brought us more than 200,000 participants, which involved. And next, please. Since April of 2016, we are a member of Let's Do It World family. And small history. In 2018, when we participate first time, we had more than 9,000 participants and collected 87 tons of trash. 2019, we gathered 35,000 participants and 300 tons of trash collected. By the 2020 pandemic time, we gathered 137,000 people and 6,020 tons trash. For recycles, we sent 4,900 tons. Next, please. 2 times next. We are proud of our local and national heroes of Kazakhstan. And I truly believe that a clean planet begins from your heart. Best actions and ideas from you. I truly believe that clean planet begins from your home, and best actions and ideas from your heart. All that we can do only when we join our sources in a big family like LDV. I'm proud to be part of this family. This means when we're together, we are stronger. God bless you. Let's do it, world, and keep it clean and wear the mask and keep the distance. And this is success story, quick success story of Kazakhstan. And second topic, which is biodiversity in the city and around the city. You can switch off this presentation and prepare the short clip, please. And I would like to talk about biodiversity. We talk about cigarette butts. It's a big, huge problem. Of course, I agree. But no one of us didn't talk about chewing gum. You know, everybody's throwing out the chewing gums, not in a bin, on the earth. And what happened next? The bird is coming down and eat this chewing gum, thinking that it's a bread or something like that. The chewing gum, it's going to melt it in the throat, and the bird is dying, you know, and it's a huge problem. And in place of collecting the trash, we're collecting the dying birds also on the streets. This is what we need to think about it. Not only cigarette butts, but chewing gum should be in the bin, which is later on will go for the garbage areas, but not. Okay, and the last one, this small movie. It's 59 seconds.
Разгружаемся, начинаем кушать здесь, да, туда-сюда.
Сперва уберемся, чтобы чисто было кушать.
Ну, разве с ним так просто бывает? Любимое место рыбаков.
Задели здесь 70 карагачей.
В 2015 году это уже сколько такое место для отдыха? Но это место для отдыха, а не для того, чтобы его гадить.
Beautiful video and a beautiful way to end that presentation, Shasalim. That was gorgeous. And Kazakhstan, so beautiful when you see the clean beaches and the water. And I'm sure you're very proud of your country.
That's
And
what I'm trying to do, to be proud for long years.
yeah. And I know you were there last year at the conference. You put in so much work and effort, so we appreciate it. And I'm going to ask if anyone has a question for Shasalim or for Kazakhstan, unmute your microphone now. Very good point about the chewing gum. Thomas is saying in the chat as well. Very good point.
And also a second point, which is also good point, it's fireworks.
Fireworks, okay.
Yes, you don't need to use it, especially when the Christmas. It's enough that the municipality is using a big fire show, and the people, when they're using small fireworks, they can damage themselves first, and second of all, at nighttime they spook the birds as well, and birds can die as well. They can be beat by fireworks or spook.
Baby, you're a firework. Come on. Sorry, guys. So any questions finally for Kazakhstan? 5 seconds. 4.
Make him go up. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. That's for the after party. We're leaking into after party territory. So any questions? 4, 3, 2, 1. Kazakhstan, Shasalim, thank you so much. And
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yes,
yes.
question. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Okay, I want to ask Shasalim, how far with the chewing gums? Any solution, anything, something new about the chewing gums? You spoke about it, but I did not get it well.
From last year, from last year, I was working to the schools and university and explain to the school pupils that they don't need to throw the chewing gum on the streets. They need to throw it into the bins. And this is most important stuff what we can do. It's explain to everyone that chewing gum is supposed to throwing down to the bins, not to the earth. This is only one thing what we can do. It cannot be reproduced, but at least it can be thrown to the bin. This only solution I can suggest. And as more people know about it, more effort could be brought for ecological side.
Great. Good question and good answer. Thank you so much, Shasalim. And let's move straight on to one of our final speakers for today. We are going to France.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we are going to talk, where are we going in France? Opportunities are everywhere, connecting people to succeed in all challenges. Virginie in France. Bonjour.
Hi,
it's
everybody.
Good to see you again.
First, I got a present for you. Can you see this, Colm?
Smithix is a very good drink made in the south of Ireland.
So yes, it's like a token of appreciation, like virtual one.
Virginie, does that mean that you're drunk right now? Have you been drinking?
No, as you can see, it's a mug, so I got my tea in at the moment.
I have my doubts. I have my suspicions. It's over to you.
Then, guys, it's time to share you my presentation. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here with you for the first time, actually. So I want to go directly to the topic. We went last year in February. We organized our strategic plan of communication, the way we will gather people, and finally we were locked down. we saw all the people from World Cleanup Day and all the French people actually very disappointed of not being able to do something. All the people in Let's Do It movement are doers. So we were asking how we can give them the opportunity to do something from the sofa or from their home for the environment. That's why we decided in 15 days to promote a new campaign, like a recipe. As you can see here, the French word recette, which is 8 recipes as you are at home, to do a digital cleanup and to take care of the environment, because as you may know, digital use is also connected to carbon footprint. So we made this little booklet, and we did it with experts, another NGO in France, and we use this for a campaign to motivate our members and all the people to be connected to the environment and a way of not doing waste, even if it was digital waste. From this campaign in March, we also we had a new opportunity to talk to new people that we didn't reach until now, because we can enter in the life of the people, in their inner life actually, in their daily life, and not only for the people who are interested in what happened in the nature. So that's a new way a new step to be in touch with people. So that was our first idea to tackle this problematic of not going outside. And secondly, we were asking how we can connect people, because usually we have drinks outside, what we call the walking up day after work, so that the people can be in touch together. That's how we mobilize everywhere in France, in all the region. And we were not able to do this and to be so funny. So we decided to build funny webinars and Zoom session with lots of people and in different topics. And we launched what we call a monthly date with ambassadors around the country. And from that, we went from 20 ambassadors in the country until 150 ambassadors. And now we are all connected, and we keep on going on this thing. We also decided that we had to be more and more funny. Fun is really one of the one of the key value in France, in our program, and we decided that we have to be really fun this year. So we did it like a movie presentation, so that the people can see us. We make a movie, a little one, very short one, and we also made very funny pictures for the kids in order to allow everybody to jump in the program. And in our Zoom party and webinars, we had people from 17 years old to 70 years old. So that was very nice, actually, because we can have our diversity. Everyone can bring his own competencies and his own will to be here and to commit in this program. And finally, from this first ideas that we had in March, we finally decided to organize Cyber World Cleanup Day, which is Digital World Cleanup Day, and World Cleanup Day at the same time in France, at the World Cleanup Day period, so that the people that cannot go out, because in the companies, for example, it was very hard at the moment to be outside and to do cleanups. So we had very good results. We had the same amount of cleanups in the country than the year before. Only 139,000 people, which is half of 2019, but it's normal because we had also discussion with the Ministry of Health to be sure that the COVID could be okay with the crisis of COVID. And what is the main achievement of this year is that we had the mayor, Anne Hidalgo, Paris mayor, which is leading actually a very big group of mayor of big cities in France. She made the cleanup during 1 hour, so that was very nice to talk with her and to see what we can do in big cities in France. And one of my personal achievements when I co-founded the World Cleanup Day in France was to be on the TV news the day of World Cleanup Day, and I had the opportunity to be live at the TV to give the results the day of World Cleanup Day. So we were very happy, and we had very big results from the first Cyber World Cleanup Day, Digital World Cleanup Day. And it gave us a new opportunity to develop a new cycle, a new campaign. And that's how we will launch our campaign in France for 2021 with a digital cleanup. So that we can tackle again the COVID and keep going on. And as Vincenzo said from Italy, here in France, we are for less blah blah and more action. So that's how we do the thing, and be smiling and positive. I almost finished Colm, so that maybe I'm ready for some question.
That was beautiful. And thank you so much for that great presentation. And now we're going to open it up to the floor. If anyone would like to ask a question about that presentation or about the situation in general in France when it comes to the World Cleanup and Let's Do It France. So would anyone have a question for Virginie? Unmute your microphone and tell us where you are and your name, please.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Okay. So, Virginie, my name is Anti. I'm from Indonesia. It's interesting for me to hear the digital campaign from the French. I mean, like, it's the specified things that some of countries cannot reach of this site as well. So, from your opinion, how do you can engage the digital garbage through around the world to get a concern on this site also?
I missed a little part of the question. So it's about digital cleanup, but how to engage people in this program, you mean?
Right,
is it?
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
First, our main concern last year was the company. Because in the companies, in France, for example, almost everybody was home working, and they cannot be committed in cleanups. So the first option that we saw is that to go to companies, and as they were using all their computers and so on, they would be happy to have something to do all together in the company and to be linked in a way by doing this. Secondly, it was also something to make all the people aware and to have of the all the things that we have in our smartphones and computers, and also all the problem of the material waste, because from the computer it's not only digital, it's not only data, it's also all the materials, and how we need the resources, primary materials to build all these things. So the good advice would be also to go to another part of the population, which are the young people, because they are very connected, very connected, and they don't have any idea of what's happened just with their data and everything. So that's how we did it. First, to go to the companies, and also go to schools, so that everyone can talk and maybe find a solution for the school or for the pupils and for the companies.
Okay, thank you. I think I get done something from your advice.
But do not hesitate to send me any message so that we can share things, even if it's French version for the moment.
Okay. Thank you, Virginie.
That is great. Antti in Indonesia, thank you for that great question, and to Virginie in France for breaking that down and for that wonderful presentation. Virtual round of applause, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we are going on now to our final speaker before we have our after party. And just to remind you, we're broadcasting this on Facebook Live now and on different platforms, but we won't be broadcasting the after party. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? It ain't going to be broadcast. What happens at the after party stays at the after party. But our final speaker now, we are going to Mexico, and we're talking to José Roberto, but we're starting this with a video clip. So if you'd like to cue up the video clip, and then we'll hear the talk right after this.
Yes.
The video clip, and now, Jose, good to see you again. You're looking great. Over to you. Take it away. You, no pressure, Jose, but you are the final speaker in our success stories. So now all the pressure is on you. All eyes are on you. It's over to you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This was our result report. It's a very pleasure to stay with you. And this 2020 was a year of challenge for humanity. The union, work, and love for life were the key to moving forward. Before to start, I want to dedicate this message to all the leaders, to all the partners, and to all the members of this great family. Thank you. On behalf of the world and all the species that inhabit here, you are the heroes of the planet. And thanks for your action, we can believe and have faith in a great future that contemplates everyone. I am Roberto Palafox. I represent Let's Do It Mexico, a team of great leaders and agents of change with green projects around the year. And the success of this result report took 3 steps. First one, the alliance of people, institutions, and companies that want to help the world. We're looking how can we do the things, and also asking our partners to help us find more partners. All have one friend who adds your battles. The companies is the same case. The second point, it was in sharing the planning with great leaders and teachers. In our case, it was many countries like Salvador, Argentina, Hungary, Panama, Mozambique, and many more. Because if you generate the same project and development in 2 or more countries, it's more attractive for any commercial allow, but the process must be the same. The third point, for me, this is the most important. Create strategy planning, deadline, standards for evaluation activities and results. Why my work is good compared to what, how many variables do you have? This indication help you improve it in each activity. And manage time. So sorry, excuse me, I have a 9 cats and I need, okay. And manage time to obtain the necessary materials for activities. A positive impact for the world is measured in the results, actions. But the most important thing is the hearts to people what Guira did. This is the strength of this great family. We have the possibility of doing many actions in the public space of every city in the world. We can paint the planet green if we want, only indeed many friends. For me, no. For me, the best challenge in this last 2020 is innovate with, okay. For the most challenge for me in this 2020 is innovate with environment solution to companies and improve their production process for save the world and change the habits of the world around us and show them how to make the change. If 10% of humanity joins in a cause, the world change. And we almost reached the goal. The key is to convince ourselves the importance of your action and your team actions. We're going to change the world. And I guarantee that Mexico will join to projects that you want to manage, replicating in this country or helping the methodology to generate them. We're strangers. And this is the best family of all. Thank you for listening, and especially thank for Haiti management, Alemania and Indonesia management. I share my email through the chat in case someone wants to work with Mexico or want more information about the results or need anything. No, sir. Let's change the world and let's do it. Thanks.
Hey, well done, Jose. Round of applause, everyone, for Jose. That is fantastic. Really inspirational speech. Let's hear a round of applause. There we go. There we go. And yes, they're going crazy, Jose. Woo! And I want to ask you something. Did I hear you right? Did you say you have 9 cats?
Yeah, I have 9 cats. I adopted in my house 9 cats and very many birds.
Many birds. Wait, you have 9 cats and how many birds?
In my house, stay at 3. I have many 10, but 20 birds.
It's Jose, is that not, I know we're getting a bit off topic here, but is that not dangerous because cats like to kill and eat birds. So you have all these cats and all these birds in your one house.
When you have the cats, when it's beginning, when it's a baby, you give many foods and maybe only 2 touch the birds and don't say anything. It's a good.
Wow. So do your cats go up sometimes and touch the birds but don't hurt them?
Yes, ma'am. Please, check a moment.
Yeah, show us one of your 9 cats. You know, the joke is always about old cat ladies. Well, oh, look.
Yeah, the name is Julia. It's very docile. Don't angry and don't hate the birds.
Don't hate
It's joining to the party.
Does anyone else have a question for Jose about World Cleanup Day or about his 900 cats? Anyone have a question? Unmute your microphone and tell us where you're from. Someone's got to have a question about the cats, at least. I've got another 500 questions about the cats. Okay. Any questions, anyone, before we go on to the next thing?
I just want to say, hi, it's Ingrid here. I just want to say I love your cats, Jose.
Oh.
And your birds too.
Yeah,
that is great. Thank you so much, Ingrid. And Jose in Mexico, thank you so much. A big round of applause once again, everyone, for Jose. Thank you. And guys, that is it. Now, here's what's going to happen because this is very exciting. There were amazing stories that we heard over the past 2 hours. And I just want to say well done to everyone because I know, trying to stay involved and to pay attention and to keep really focused on what's happening over Zoom, it's not the same as being in person. There's no way it can ever be the same as being in person. But I think you'll agree that the speakers today with their presentations, with the internet connections, with all the different obstacles, did a great job from all over the world. So thanks to all the speakers and a little round of applause, virtual round of applause for them, because it's not easy and they did a great job. So we appreciate that. And they still managed to get the message across, the spirit across, and inspire the rest of us. So there are people watching all over the world now on Facebook and social media. Don't go anywhere, people on Zoom here, because we're about to have the after party, and it's going to be an after party. We'll have it for maybe half an hour or so, a bit shorter than we expected because we ran over time. But for those watching on Facebook, thank you so much for watching the first day of the conference, the Let's Do It World Conference, brought to you by Let's Do It World, Let's Do It Germany, and Let's Do It Indonesia. Everybody working together. We'll be back again tomorrow with more great speakers and workshops, which will be streamed on social media too. So until then, we will talk to you tomorrow, those of you watching on Facebook. That's
congratulations, it's the first day.
That's where they cut the feed on social media. Now, Stamo is going to play something nice on the piano. It is your chance to get a drink, to run and get a cup of tea, to bring something back. You have a few minutes, and then let's just shoot the breeze and talk to each other. So at the moment, beautiful piano music.